If you were not able to join our live art class, this is what we were making together, this winter bear. So we're going to be drawing it step by step together, and then I want to tell you a little bit about mixing some crayon colors so that you can get some different colors out of your basic colors that come in your crayon box. So we are going to need for this a piece of paper and a pencil and some crayons or some colored pencils. If all you have are markers, that is okay too. But I'm going to show you how to layer some colors if you're using crayons or colored pencils. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my paper. I'm going to make a little fold. I'm not going to go all the way to the top. Okay, we're using our paper in the portrait position, and I'm going to take my paper, and instead of folding it corner to corner, I'm going to drop it down a little bit, and I'm going to make a fold. I'm going to hold it down where I want it to be, and I'm going to crease it with my finger. So you have a piece of paper that has a fold. It's got a shorter side and a longer side. And then I'm going to turn the paper into the landscape position, and I'm going to fold it in half, which means I'm going to line up my corners. I'm going to hold it down so it doesn't move, and then I'm going to crease it. When I open it up, I have some fold lines that are going to show me where to put some marks so I will know where to draw. So from the top, I'm going to drop down a little bit. I'm going to make a little mark. And I'm going to do the same thing over on the sides. I'm going to start at the side right where this fold is. I'm going to come in a little bit, and I'm going to make a mark. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side right here. Now I have a dot and a dot and a dot. This shows me where I need to start and stop. So I am going to draw a curved line. I'm going to start at the first dot, and I'm going to draw a curve. It's going to come around like this, and it's going to this second dot, well, close to the second dot. And then, because it's easier for me to draw a curve when I'm going in this direction than it is for me to draw it like this, I'm going to turn my paper and draw a curved line from the second dot to the third dot. Here we go. That's going to be the top of my bear's head. Now I'm going to draw another line, another curved line right here. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Next, I'm going to draw a line from this dot to this dot, but it's going to be just slightly curved. So it's going to come down a little bit, and then it's going to come right back up. And I'm going to draw this same line right here at the bottom. Right here and over. Okay. Now we're going to make the bear's body. It's going to start right here where the curved line meets this curved line. And it's also going to be slightly curved. And it's going to come all the way down here toward the corner. It doesn't have to touch the corner, but it's going to come down like this. That's the bear's body. So now we have the bear's head, part of his scarf, and his body. Next, we're going to draw his ears. They're going to be two half circles. I'm going to make mine, I'm going to try to make them kind of big. Big half circle, that's his big ear. And another half circle right inside. I'm going to do that on the other side. I'm going to try to make it about the same size. And another circle inside. Now our bear has ears. Next, we're going to draw his nose. So we're going to come up a little ways from the place where the two folds cross. And I'm going to make a little dot right there, and then I'll make another dot right here. That's very helpful to me, because now I know. And now I'm going to draw kind of an oval shape. Okay, there's my little oval for the nose. Now, if you look at my example, if you look at the nose and you look at the muzzle of the bear's nose, it reminds me of an avocado, half of an avocado, where here's the little pit of the avocado and here's the actual avocado part right here. So I'm gonna make a little dot down here. See, the space down here is going to be smaller than the space up here, so we're going to make a dot a little higher up. And that shows us where our curved line is going to start down here and come up around the nose and up to the next dot. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Ooh, there we go. So there is his nose and his muzzle. We're going to make his eyes. Now, you are the artist of your bear. So if you decide that you would like your eyes to look different from my eyes that I'm drawing, that's okay, because you're the one drawing your bear. I'm drawing the bear that I made right here, but if you want to make adjustments to your bear, that is absolutely okay. So in the eye, we're going to draw another circle, just like that. And if we want to get very fancy, we can draw another little circle right here. That's supposed to look like the reflection off the eye. We're going to put some little nostrils right in here for his nose. And then we're going to draw a line that comes straight down. And then we're going to draw a curved line right here. We give him a little smile. My bear has some rosy cheeks, so I'm going to draw those little circles over here for the rosy cheeks. There we go. Now, the final part of drawing our bear is going to be the bottom of the scarf. So you can see that this is really just a rectangle, and this is also just a rectangle, but it stops when it hits the first one, so it looks like this rectangle overlaps that one. So let's see, we're going to draw a rectangle. We can draw two lines like this and a line that comes across. And then this one is kind of at an angle. I'm going to draw this one going in another direction. It's going to go like this. Just like that. So now we have drawn the bear, and I want to talk to you a little bit about color and mixing your colors, layering your colors, because often we have a crayon box or some color pencils, and we may only have one of each color. We may have one brown or one green, one blue, and sometimes if we're drawing a picture, say for instance a bear in front of trees next to a log cabin, it would be nice if we had a couple different shades of brown, a couple different values of brown. But sometimes we don't have that because all we have is brown. So in order to do that, to change the color, I'm going to do this. I'm going to very lightly color in the area that I would like to make a different color brown. I'm not going to press down very much with my crayon, but I am going to make sure that I fill the whole area so that I don't see any big white places from the paper. I can see the white paper through the crayon because I'm drawing so lightly, but I just want to make sure that I fill the whole thing. And if you notice, I'm coloring very small sections at a time, and I'm kind of overlapping where I'm coloring. And that gives me more control because I have my hand resting on the paper. If I'm trying to color like this with my hand off the paper, I don't have as much control of where I'm coloring. But I want to try to color in the whole thing. And then over here on this ear. Now, when you choose the color that you're going to mix or layer on top of the brown, you have some choices. If your crayon box or if you have color pencils and they have a color in there called tan or apricot, something like that, you can use that on top. You could use a peach color. You could use white. You can even use yellow if you don't have those other colors. Ooh, that one's a little darker. Okay, I'm going to add a little extra layer over here, so it looks like I did that on purpose. Okay, so now I'm going to take my apricot colored crayon And I'm gonna press down a little harder now. I'm just gonna color right on top of that brown. And it makes it look like a lighter brown. If I wanted to make it a darker brown, I could add a very light layer of black underneath. And then when I went over it with the brown, it would look darker. So when we do things like this, when we layer our colors, we get more colors, right? From just a simple box of crayons. All right. One of the other things that I like to do when I'm drawing a picture like this is outline or draw on top of the pencil lines with a darker color. So after I finish the nose, I'm going to take my black crayon and I'm going to go over my lines. Usually I would have done this before I started coloring, but it's okay, it's not too late. And again, you know, if you decide that you want your bear to be blue or purple or any color you want it to be, that is okay, because guess what? It's your bear. So here's my black crayon, and I'm going to try to do a neat job, but I'm also trying to do this quickly so that my video is not too long. Here we go. And around the eye, I'll just go ahead and color that in. And around this eye. I may go back and add a little black to that later. Oh, I forgot to color in the nose. Here we go. So I'm gonna trace around those little circles first. That way I don't have to worry about accidentally coloring inside those circles, because I want them to be white. There we go. All right, so now I'll color around or trace around the ears. I just think it makes it easier to see him later when he's finished. Okay. Sometimes I turn, like I said, when I'm making a curved line, I might turn my paper just to make sure that I have more control. Ooh. Gonna miss the line on that one, that's okay. Almost finished. Now, on my example, my scarf has fringe, but I'll worry about that in a minute. Okay, so now I have outlined my bear. I also have the lighter brown in the ears and on the muzzle. And now I'm gonna do I'm gonna add some texture. Okay, so I put some little black lines on the bear so that he would look like fur, right? Texture is something that we can feel with our hands. If I feel the paper, I might say, oh, the paper is smooth. Or if I skin my knee on the sidewalk, I might say, oh, the sidewalk is rough. Or if I'm petting my cat, I might say, you know, my cat is very fluffy. If I put my hand in the snow, if I said, oh, the snow is cold, that wouldn't be a texture. If I said the snow is crunchy, then that would be a texture. So I'm going to go ahead and add some lines. I'm adding the lines in this direction because if you have a pet, you might have noticed that on the head, the hair grows away from the nose. Kind of starts at the nose and kind of goes back over the head and down the rest of the body. So I'm just going to draw some fur. He's a hairy bear. Maybe some fur on the ears. And some fur on the body. This part takes the longest because there's a lot of space there to fill with some hair. Now for the Rosy Cheeks, I also use the same method of layering colors because I don't want them to be super bright pink. I just want them to have, you know, a little rosy glow. So what I'm going to do with the Rosy Cheeks is I'm going to take my brown crayon again, and I'm going to very lightly color in those little rosy cheeks brown, just lightly. Fill those right in. And then I'm going to take my pink crayon and I'm going to go on top of them with the pink. That way they look a little bit rosy, but they're not super duper bright. And I've just made a new color. Now, let's see. I'm just going to show you. I may not end up coloring the whole thing while we're together, but I'm going to show you because once we start coloring with the regular brown crayon, it makes it a lot easier to see the difference between the lighter brown inside the ears and the darker brown that will go all over the body. If you wanted to with the ears, you could also use this method too. If you wanted the inside of the ears to be pink-ish, you could put a light layer of brown in there and then put the pink on top. Right? So that's kind of how that looks. It looks like there's the brown and there's a lighter brown, like almost like you have two different color crayons, but you don't really. So now we're going to talk a little bit about pattern, right? Pattern is something that is repeated. So we have these stripes here. They're repeated on the scarf. So that makes that a pattern, right? Green and red and green and red and green and red. And I have a couple other examples from the other classes that I did. Some of my bears are finished and some are not. This bear has just great big stripes. Notice though that when it goes this way, the stripes, right, kind of go across the scarf. But when we turn the scarf, the stripes go in the other direction. And on this one, I added fringe that's black, but then I put some of the colors of the scarf in there too before I colored the brown down here so you can really see it. Here's another scarf. This one has some wavy stripes on the scarf. This one has long lines going down the scarf. And this one has polka dots. So really you can put anything you want on that scarf. I think for this one, I'm gonna make, I'll make kind of curved lines like this. I'm just kind of making this up. Okay, so now down here, our lines are going to go this way. There, just like that. And I can come in here like this and make some fringe with my black. And then when I decide what colors I'm going to use for the scarf, I think for this scarf, I'm going to use purple and yellow. So I'll put some purple lines in there and over here. And some yellow lines. I'll put those in there. I'm using purple and yellow because they are, can you guess what they are? Complementary colors. They make each other look brighter when they're sitting next to each other. And so then I will just have to decide. I guess I'll do yellow in the small stripe and purple in the large stripe. Try to color the whole thing. I'm trying to really cover the white of that paper. And then I would come in here with my purple or my violet if you're fancy and color that right in. Okay. Now let's talk about the background. Sometimes we get so excited about drawing something on our paper that we forget sometimes that it's nice to have a background. So as you can see, you know, I've got him all drawn out. He's all traced. He's ready. It's just going to take me a while to color it, so I'm going to leave that for later. But I'm going to bring this one back, my example, and I just wanted to show you, right, that I put a background on here, and in the background are some clues, right? Some visual clues. And so we know some things about this bear. We know that this bear is outside because we can see this. This is supposed to be snow. And I figured, you know, it looks a little more like snow because there's some way down here at the bottom instead of just being across the top like it might be if it were stars. So I made my snow kind of big and simple so that I didn't have to color around teeny weeny snowflakes. And we also know that he is outside at night. Now, sometimes when we do our backgrounds, it makes you curious, right? It might make me curious. I say, this bear is out at night in the snow. I also know, because we know that snow is cold, and because he's wearing a scarf. And it makes me wonder, I wonder what that bear is doing out there. What is he doing out in the snow at night? Is he going to a party? Is he running out to the grocery store? What is he doing? So that is our bear that we are making during our live lesson. If you missed it, I hope you enjoy this. And if you finish your bear and you have a grown-up that can take a picture of your bear and send it to our Google Classroom or even to my email, I would love to see your bears, and I will send you a comment back about how awesome your bear is. All right.